Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the SLO County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 01111911.
Any more bandsaws? All right, so this guy got me thinking. And my buddy says this all the time to me, and I told you I'm starting all these new projects. And he says, you measure twice, you cut once. One of the projects I'm doing is I was putting a lot of sound deadening, Dynomat type stuff to knock noise down. And I have these new panels that go on my doors that make it look nicer and absorb sound and keep it a little bit quieter inside the machine. They're a little bit loud, and it's all enclosed. But anyways, measure twice, cut once. What is one piece of advice that somebody told you? Maybe it was your grandpa. I know you respected your grandpa a lot, or maybe it was somebody you worked with. There had to be some piece of advice that you got as a younger person that you still live by today.
Somebody told me don't waste a bunch of time on projects that don't end up returning revenue.
Well, revenue can be enjoyment, can it?
I guess you do pay for enjoyment. But every time you talk about working on your side-by-side, there's always a frustration element to it.
Oh, my God. It pisses me off. The Polaris
so you like
should
to be frustrated.
I think Polaris honestly made these things to work on as hard as you can. So you'd take it to their service guys, and you'd end up buying parts from them and doing all this. I mean, it is impossible. I was changing the differential fluid.
Which is that way with everything now.
Which is the fluid that goes into the axles. You know, there's one in the front, there's one in the back for the four-wheel drive, whatever. And I'm just trying to get the funnel in there to put the new fluid in. It's impossible. I had to buy one on Amazon for a transmission. I did like a 4-foot hose. It had to weave through the A-arms and get inside all this crap. Everything was in the way. Once I got the funnel in, I couldn't get the bottle in there. Yeah, see, you're getting my blood pressure worked up. So, yeah, it is a lot of fun, though. Somebody said...
Is it really?
Somebody wrote in... Dan wrote in, he says, trust patterns, not words. I don't even know what that means. How old are you, Dan?
No. This rings totally true. And think about any place that you've ever worked that the middle managers outnumber just regular salary employees. And if that's the case, they're middle managers because they're like talk. They just talk. They just talk. That's it. That's all they do.
All right, sure.
But what you should do is look at their success patterns. Their patterns of that's really sage advice that he's passing along. Look at what their track record is, basically, of success, and see if you trust the words that come from their mouth based on the track record of success.
Okay,
that is great advice. In fact, you know what? Who said that? Dan. Dan wrote it in.
Dan. Yeah.
That's the new one. I used to have one.
Sorry, Danny.
I have one hanging up in my cubicle. And it says, successful investing is boring. Successful investing is boring.
And waste of time, probably, right?
Huh?
I mean, when there's no risk, there's no reward. Oh,
true. But you want to get
what just happened?
How much money have you wasted on the lottery? If you were to just taken all that lottery money and just set it aside,
right?
Then you might have something. Yeah,
you can't even say $1 anymore. No, there's no dollar anymore, is there? I mean, everything's more than $1 now.
Well, that one ticket's $5. That Mega Millions is $5 if you're going to play that.
Yeah. Then you do the mega plier if you can, or the double chance.
So, but no, successful investing is probably the most boring investing. It's like things like buying a house, putting a little bit aside to put into companies that you trust their patterns and not their words. Their track record of success. How did Warren Buffett get so successful? He only invested in companies that he did research into and trusted and saw as a commodity to the American people. You know, it's not It's not that hard. And that's what makes it boring. You're not taking those risks. You're not pounding out. You're not running a hose through a tight engine compartment on a car that's about the size of you and getting frustrated from it. You're just opening up a can of Coke and drinking it.
Stacy writes in. She says, if you don't take a break voluntarily, your body will force you to take one. That's some advice. You could use that. You're always burning the candle.
I like the patterns over words. I like the patterns over words better. Patterns over words. Patterns over words.
Lift with your legs, not your back.
There are some things people have said to you, and you're like that person totally did not tell me the truth that time. I'm going to look for that phrase next time that person says it and know that it's not going to be the truth.
It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
At KZOZ.com, wherever you get your podcast, search Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. Thanks to Team Swayze. It's there waiting for you.
So apparently there's a trophy wife dynamic that is very real according to research. They studied and analyzed data from 1999 to 2019. That's 20 years of data. And they find that trophy wife patterns still appear when a man has higher earnings, a woman's BMI is lower. And even if they started the relationship where they were in a situation where, her BMI was not as low as it is now, and then the husband goes on to have success, that her BMI will decrease as his income goes up. Is that healthier eating? Is that a more active lifestyle? Not sure, but what psychologists think is it's to make sure that they keep around the breadwinner. Now, what's interesting in the news world, Mr. I drive a truck and I'm a huge man, is there's now a trophy husband dynamic going on because females are the breadwinners in many situations. You are the only person I know where the wife makes more than the husband. The only situation that I know, and I think that's why you overcompensate with a truck and a side by side and leather jacket.
You don't know what my wife makes.
I know she makes more than you. I do know that. I do know that. So that being said,
I know other guys that their wives make more than them.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know a single person.
Of them.
Has your body mass, your body index dropped as a result of your wife's income increasing?
I don't think so.
Okay. I was just wondering because they're saying that this is a true thing. This is something that's going on. In fact, men's body mass index drops and their exercise frequency increased. I know during the show a couple of years ago, you had somebody deliver a treadmill to your house.
Yes.
And you paid him $20 to bring it in.
No, I paid him $20 to set it up.
That's right.
He was going to set it up anyways. That was part of the deal.
Instead of getting the exercise to set it up, because that's exercise.
You're misleading. I paid for him to deliver it and set it up and take away the box. That was part of it, okay? I just gave him a $20 tip because I thought he did a great job.
Man, I'm going to get a lot of exercise with this thing. You mind setting it up for me?
93.3 KZOZ rocks. It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Remember when my wife and I first met? I don't know if I ever told you about this, but we would do something called bubble wrap. And that's like not hang out with anybody because we just wanted to hang out with each other.
Yeah, you disappeared. I remember that.
Yeah. And I feel like we've done that for 15 years for sure. But we do have breaks in the bubble wrap. There are breaks in the bubble wrap, but after dealing with so many people during the holiday season and going out and socializing and all that stuff. At the end of it, or towards the end of it, I think it was like on December 30th or 31st, we're looking at each other like, I can't wait for this to be over. Just cannot wait for this to be over.
Like hanging out with other people, or just hanging around each other so much?
Hanging out with other people.
Oh, I
we
see.
We need to bubble. She says, 2026 is going to be the year of me and you. And I said, that sounds great. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
That's impossible. You have 2 kids that are in sports and activities.
I know it's impossible.
Yeah,
dude.
you're not,
trust me.
This nothing's going to change.
This week's schedule alone,
till they leave,
and then seeing what I have coming up next week, I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to happen. But people feel like they don't want to socialize in January. Like you call it dry January. Dry January leads to less socialization because people don't have the social lubricant. In fact, 35% of respondents in a recent survey said that they socialize less in January. And this has led to people with January birthdays canceling their own birthday celebrations. By the way, you shouldn't throw yourself your own birthday celebration. Somebody else should do it for you. If you're throwing your own, then cancel it anyways.
Well, everybody we know that has a birthday party, I feel like they throw themselves a party. And then you feel like I have friends and coworkers, whatever, coworkers or friends. And I have one friend who always throws himself a party, and I'm always there because we're pretty good friends and work together. And then I have another coworker that I work with and, friends. But you feel pressured, like if you don't go to that party because you went to this person's party that you work with, but and you have to see these people at work every day. So you feel like you have to go to both.
You need to set the standard immediately out the gate. And granted, I have kids, so I was able to use a good 9-10 years of excuses. Now that is running out.
The kids is running out.
But I've set that standard for the last decade that I can't do anything. I got to do stuff with the kids, and I could still, sprinkle it in here and there. But now they stop asking after a certain amount of time, right? They stop. You want to come to a birthday party? No, I haven't for the last 9 years.
I couldn't get you to golf, and I'm like, listen, if you don't want to golf with me, that's fine. Just tell me that. Don't give me this BS that you can't be away from your house for 4 hours.
That is a problem. That is a problem.
I quit asking you. I was like,
I have the same. Okay, here's my thing with golf, and I have access to a lot of golf. I don't play because I have other things in my life that would enrich my situation, whether it be financial, whether it be family, whether it be home improvement. Those are the 3 pillars. your economic situation, your kids, and your home improvement. If I go out for 4.5-5 hours and do something that I enjoy, that's a long time. And at about hole 3 or 4, I'm like, man, I should have really worked on that downstairs room today. 4 hours to kill. 5 hours to kill. So it's the same way I look at movies. Like I don't watch movies. I watch
one
TV
day,
shows.
They're all going to be in college, and they're not going to want to call you back because they have a life now. And your hips out, and you can't play golf, and you're just going to be sitting around.
Hopefully, my hips not going to be out.
Should have played golf when I could have.
That's the thing about having kids in your 30s is they keep you young and
30s. You're 50, buddy.
Moving.
You're 51 now.
No, but when I started having kids, I was in my 30s, my late 30s. When I started having,
you were knocking on 40.
Well, no, I had one in the 30s, and the other one was
after 35.
40s. Yeah,
knocking on 40.
But they keep you young. But you're not listening. To
yes,
what I'm
I know
saying.
they keep you young. They wear out your hips.
Young.
Is what they do.
I don't think they wear out.
Make you
your
coach
hips.
at 50, and then you're like, oh man, I'm so sore. All I did was run up and down the sideline.
That's kind of true. Like me and the co-coach, we're co-coach because nobody wants to take 100% of
coach. I was like,
nobody wants to take 100% of the responsibility. So we buck the whole head coaching thing, and we go with a defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator, and we'll figure it out. But it's funny because I noticed we both kind of we're about the same age, and we're both walking about the same. And there's some kind of difference.
A little bit of a limp. A little bit of a.
Yeah, because like I've gone out on the field and ran drills with these kids and you know, came up a bit gimpy. And this is flag football, okay? It's not like I'm taking any hits. That's why I get so mad when I see Pete Carroll out there whipping the ball around at a practice.
70,
and I'm like, that guy's old.
Yeah. What is he? All right, coming up, speaking of NFL and real football, we've got 6 games to go over. The playoffs are in. Don't forget, points multiply in the Red Zone Challenge, so you got to make sure you get your picks in. Do your homework, get them right, because every point you get is going to get you closer to winning that $1,000 cash, that Wi-Fi thermostat from Be Right There Heating and Air. We got a big screen TV. We got a sound bar from Coast Electronics. We got the VIP package to get you into the poorhouse in 2026. All their shows, all their ticketed shows.
And this is good, because if you are one of those people, which is like 33% of people that do not want to be social during this month, you can sit around and listen to 4 people that are forced once a week to be social with each other.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Oh, yes. Love this. The mayor should be doing victory laps this morning. And I'm not talking about the mayor of Napomo. No, I'm not talking about you, Brian. I'm talking about the mayor of Cambria, or the Duchess of Cambria. Because the Duchess has received accolades this morning. It's very peaceful in Cambria. Money Magazine has named Cambria as the 4th most peaceful town in California. And I had to look at the list. I was like, okay, what's number 1? You always want to know what number 1 is when you look at the list. And you're like, where's the most peaceful? I've been to the most peaceful. It is. Yeah, it's peaceful because people keep to themselves because they're afraid that meth heads are going to steal their stuff. And that's Susanville, California. I've never been to a scarier place than Susanville. I'm dead serious.
And it comes in as the most peaceful place?
Yeah. Now, it's cool because it's like, it's close to Lassen, it's close to Reno, it's, you know, I mean, it's...
Oh, you know, Reno, that's what you want to be close to.
That's the problem, I think, you know? Like, you have that gambling temptation just
I'm looking
about
at this picture
75 minutes away.
Of Cambria, and I'm like, that doesn't look
That's
like
not Cambria. I didn't post that. That's not a picture of Cambria. That's what Money Magazine uploaded. I don't know.
You're sharing the link. Okay.
I don't know what community it did, but I was like, hey, you know what? That's going to get people to click. And
Is Montecito on there? Because that's what it looks like.
It's
Santa Barbara, Montecito.
ClickBay. Montecito, I do. No, it's not. Okay, so this is how it breaks down.
Great question. Is Cambria peaceful or boring?
I think you can be both. I truly do. And I agree.
I think parts of the year it is very boring, and parts of the year it's actually very sweet and peaceful. At Christmas time, you go to the market.
While I don't agree with Money Magazine's number 1 choice of Susanville, because that place is scary. It scares the hell out of me. I like get in and get out of Susanville as quickly as you possibly can. But then as they go on with the list, they start to make some sense. Thousand Oaks, number 2. Whenever I go to Thousand Oaks, I'm like, how can so many people live here and it's so quiet? Like there's like just houses on top of houses on top of houses. And yet it's like you could hear a pin drop in Thousand Oaks if you're away from the 101. Eureka, that's that little oceanside city. I've been there. It's peaceful, yeah, sure. But like, same Susanville vibes, like a lot of pot shops. You know, Mendocino County, Humboldt County. I'm sorry. A lot of pot shops. Just I mean, I feel like while peaceful, yes, you could walk outside to your car on blocks in the morning when you go get up to go to work. So it's a bit.
What is more peaceful, Cayucas or Cambria?
Cambria for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Not
I remember when I first moved here, going into Cambria, what happened was we don't make that much money. So, then we didn't make that much money. And to be honest with you, now we don't either. But I had to.
It's never enough for you, is it?
Never is. Never is enough. Give me the most. There is a when you move, you have to ditch a lot of stuff. Like whatever I could fit in my van at the time. And
you didn't have a lot to begin with.
I didn't have a lot, and into a U-Haul, and then some stuff broke in the move process because I packed it very hastily, and I was like, whatever survives, and whatever doesn't, we'll figure it out when we get there. So I went to a lot of garage sales, and I mapped out my garage sales. This is 2006, so it's not like you had Craigslist was not all that prevalent. It existed, but it existed mainly to find garage sales. So I got on Craigslist, I got on MapQuest, and I just wrote down addresses and followed MapQuest because there was no Google Maps at the time.
And that's how you found Cambria.
That's how I found Cambria. And I went to some garage sales in Cambria, and I pulled into that place, and I was like, man, this is like a movie set. It's just like, is this place for real? It's like fairy tale land. And I thought to myself at the time, I called my mom immediately. I said, hey, you know what you guys should do? So I think she was a couple of years away from retirement at the time. I said, retire in Cambria. It's nice.
Well, you wanted your mom that close.
That
was before you got married.
I'm glad they did. They chose not to. You know what? Her.
I didn't know Moonstone Beach was there for 10 years.
Wow.
I lived here for 10 years,
me.
and I never even went out to Moonstone Beach. And finally, somebody said, "Oh, there's this great restaurant out there. You got to go." And I can't think of the name of it right now. But anyways, and we went.
I think it's called Moonstone Beach.
Oh my God, this is right here the whole time. Like I always thought this was the most boring town ever. Like I just drove through here to go to Hearst Castle or go look at the sea lions, or the elephant seals. Sorry, and. Yeah, I had no idea. And then then we started going up there, I don't know, every couple months and having lunch. And I know it was pretty nice. But
number 18, San Luis Obispo. Cambria kicked your ass, San Luis Obispo. Kicked your ass up and down the street. And same goes for you, Paso Robles, who came in one spot lower than San Luis Obispo at number 19.
A lot of political unrest, a lot of marches ever since COVID started. They started marching downtown. It's just not as
They don't
peaceful.
get that in Cambria.
You don't have a march in Cambria.
You don't get that. People go to Cambria to get away, okay? They go to get away from that kind of stuff.
Mike from Santa Maria says, come on, peace is overrated. He says, come to an unpeaceful city. Come to Santa Maria. 50% chance you'll survive. See, that's a guy that looks at the glass half full right there.
I want to, since, that person did the GoFundMe for Mickey, what was the guy's name? Mickey Rourke? Mickey Rooney? Mickey Rourke? What was it?
Oh, the actor?
Yeah, why am I forgetting? I'm already forgetting his name.
Is it Mickey Rourke? Is it Mickey Rourke? Not Mickey Rourke.
It is. I think it is Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke. Hold on a second. This is bad. I mean, I guess this is the consequences of turning 51.
I know.
Yeah, it's Mickey Rourke. Since that fan, I want to do a fan page GoFundMe for Mike in Santa Maria, who on a daily basis writes us about his fear for the town in which he's called home for the last couple decades
of where he lives.
Yeah, and I want to relocate him to the fourth most peaceful town in California.
I don't think he would want to go.
Can we get a GoFundMe going for Mike in Santa Maria?
He's got a nice little thing going there.
A nice little house in Cambria.
He sent in pictures before of his radio that he bought, and it sits on the table outside. And he's got a nice little backyard because he's a landscaper.
Complete with
very
ashtray.
Very tall fences. But where he enjoys most of his mornings. I think he would miss the sunshine when you get up there into the clouds in peaceful Cambria.
That's true, but man, when it is sunny, boy, does the town come out.
Pothead Rick writes in on the 805 Beer text line. He says, Jeff, have you ever driven over to those Padres via Nacimiento Ferguson?
No, scares the crap out of me. I've seen pictures.
Haunted, I think.
I've seen pictures of people doing the drive, and I'm like, if I break down here, it's nothing but vultures, man.
They're waiting. They're just waiting for some dumbass to come driving down the road and break down.
Oh, look at this idiot. Like when the vultures start circling cars, that's a road to get off of. Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the Slow County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 01111 911.